Hey, I'm Siobhan, and I love talking about all the things related to freedom and personal growth. And I'm on a journey to redefine freedom on my own terms as I become the woman I desire to be. Each week, I'll share in real time what I'm learning as I do my inner work while creating a safe space for my listeners to feel seen. If you desire to be free and live a life that feels good to you, then you're in the right place for beautiful conversations that's going to support you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to the Siobhan J. Middleton podcast. Now let's start the show. Hey, welcome back to another week of my podcast. I'm so happy, always so happy that you are here again for another week. Before we get into the episode, I need you to do me a favor. I don't know how long I'm going to be saying this, but I really want you to take a moment to leave a 5-star review with a sentence or two or a paragraph, whatever you choose, on what you're enjoying about the podcast. Thank you so much to everyone who has already left reviews. It warms my heart to see that what you guys are really enjoying is my transparency, my vulnerability while I'm on this journey of healing. And it appears that you're picking up exactly what I want to put down. And so that makes me so happy as I put all my focus, my energy, and everything into making this podcast a space where you feel seen, heard, and understood as you're on your journey of redefining freedom for yourself. So again, just take a moment on Apple Podcasts to leave a review, 5 stars, please, and just share with the world what you're enjoying about this podcast. And I want to thank you in advance. My update for this week, I am in love with the song Float by Janelle Monae. And that song has been on a repeat. I'm going to link it in my show notes so you can take a listen. But when I tell you this song is speaking to exactly where I'm at right now in my life, which feels so good. And so I'm really excited about her new album. I don't think I've ever been excited about a Janelle Monae album, I'll be honest. There's been songs that I like here and there, but this particular album, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is called The Art of Pleasure. And I am in this space of pleasure that I'm going to talk about on a future episode of my podcast. So, anywho, I'm excited to see what this album is going to be about. So if you haven't listened to the song, definitely go to the show notes, click the link, and take a listen. You will fully enjoy it. Okay, so I have a confession. This particular topic is about getting to know myself. And my confession is, I don't know myself. Now, there's some parts of myself that I know that are true, and I'm like, okay. But also, there are so many parts of myself I do not know yet. I have lived a specific kind of way for my whole life. And I don't think the real shift or change began until 2020. And I've talked about this a lot on the podcast, where I started looking at my life holistically, right? And realizing that the life that I was living was not the life that I truly wanted to live. And it would take me 3 years to go through this process of unlearning, of grieving, of letting go, shifting, changing, becoming, all of the things. And now, today, realizing, oh, there's so much about yourself you do not know. And there wasn't any awareness that I didn't know myself, right? Because if you would have asked me, Siobhan, do you know you? I'd be like, yeah, of course I know me. I like this, I like that. But when it gets to like the heart, like the core, like, no, I don't know myself. And if I was to answer this question years ago, and that was my truth, I would be embarrassed or ashamed by that truth. Now, sitting where I'm at today, I'm like, it makes sense that you don't know yourself, because you had specific roles in your life that you followed, and there wasn't any space to get to know yourself. And so because of that, I understand where I'm at today, why there's so much of myself I just do not know. And so where I'm at, I'm like, okay, let's start with a clean slate, right? You went through this transformation journey, which I'm still on it, you know, but let's start with a clean slate, a fresh start, and ask yourself some very specific questions. And then listen to what I hear inside and then move accordingly. So some of the questions are like, well, what do you like? What don't you like? What do you need? Who do you want to be around? What do you want to do? Who do you want to become? Right? And again, this requires slowing down to hear the answers to the questions and not just acting and doing what I think I should be doing or I'm supposed to be doing. No, I am in a space where everything is new to me. And so I can feel like there is a rebirthing that's happening on the inside. And some of my beliefs, my ideas, my thoughts, like everything is like coming to the surface where I have to go through it with a fine comb and say, oh, well, is this true for me now? Because this may have been true a year ago or 2 years ago, but where I'm at today, that's no longer true. And being honest with myself, I think that's the key thing, is being honest about what I'm feeling, what my desires are, what I like, all of that, like being honest with myself and then walking in that truth. And because my life has changed so much, really over the last 3 to 4 years, I am not the same person. So as I'm getting to know myself, everyone connected to me has to get to know me as well. And I'm so grateful for the people that I have chosen to be in my life that give me space to continue to evolve without judgment. I was out with my great friend Erica not too long ago. And while we were out, I said, one of the things that I appreciate about our friendship is that, one, we've been friends for 20 plus years, and you've seen me transform in many ways, and you have always held space for every single version of me where I feel so safe to continue to grow and evolve, and you're here. And I don't have many friends that have been in my life that have been able to handle my growth and the changes, because I'm just figuring it out. And so when you can have people in your life that will allow you to grow and heal and become and make space for all of it, like those are great friends. So when I think about every single friend that I have in my life right now, there's so much space for me to make mistakes, for me to butt my head along the way. There's so much space for me to grow. And they're just like, we love you for who you are, and we understand that you're becoming. And these are the people that you want to have in your life. Like, you want friends and people around you that as you're becoming the best version of yourself and redefining freedom for yourself, you want people in your life that will be there with you, call you out on your shit when stuff comes up, but also allow you to go through your own process and still love you anyway. And I believe that sometimes it can be really hard to find people like that as you're getting to know yourself, because people like where you're at when it serves them, right? And so as you grow and change, sometimes that's too much for them and they can't handle it. And that's the hard part, because then you have to think about, okay, well, how do I want to move forward in this relationship or this friendship? Because I'm going to continue to grow. And if this person cannot handle my growth, what does that mean for our relationship? Sometimes it means just a little bit of space as you figure things out. Sometimes it means that the friendship is over or the relationship is over. I mean, there's many different things that can happen, but it's up to you to figure out how you want people to be in your life in that way. And so again, I'm in this space of like discovery and exploration and curiosity. And I was just telling my therapist this, that as I healed a really key part of myself, everything now is so vivid. It's so clear. Like I can see in color now. Like there's a brightness. You know how if you wear glasses or contacts and you go and get your eye exam, and you know how you look into the little machine or whatever, and they'll show you like the blurry part and then the clear part. And they'll go 1 and 2, and you have to choose which version is the clearest for you. It seems like a lot of my life has been that blurry version. And I didn't even know I wasn't seeing as clear. And I hope this is making sense. And now that I'm healing and growing, everything is so crisp and I can see clearly now. And that feels good. And my awareness is even like, it's just amazing to be able to see in color. And things are so bright and I'm present to my life now like never before. Now, I will say that it saddens me a little bit to realize that for a long time I didn't have self-awareness, or that I lived, let's just say, with my light dim for so many years. And so I followed the norm of everything that I felt that I was supposed to do or supposed to desire. I mean, I checked all of the boxes that one could check, trying to get to this place of happiness. And because I checked all these boxes and did everything I was supposed to do, I didn't get to know me and what I wanted. I followed someone else's rules, whether it was society, family, friends, in my marriage. Like I just checked all the boxes. But because I did that and I wasn't doing things my way, I didn't know myself. And so as I'm now almost a year on my own, separated, and now I'm divorced, I'm looking at things in such a different way. And I'm actually excited to get to know myself. Like there's grief in the woman I used to be. There's grief there because so much is attached to that version of myself. But then I'm excited about this new space that I'm in that's all about freedom and joy and bliss and happiness. And I get to know me in a new way. So I want to give you some examples of me getting to know myself. One of the things is roller skating. If y'all follow me on the gram, you totally should be. Link is always in the show notes to do that. Roller skating is my thing. It's my jam. It's a vibe. And I really enjoy it. And so I enjoy it so much that now I'm traveling to go to different rinks. I'm buying all the different things for these skates. And that feels so good. And as I'm getting to know myself through skating and the freedom that I have, there's also a lot of movement and there's a lot of freedom in like dancing. And I talked about this, I believe, on a past episode. There's always been some insecurities for me around dancing because of being uncoordinated and feeling like I got 2 left feet and being teased about not being able to dance. So I would not dance. And now as I go out and hang out with friends at different like lounges and clubs and things like that, or even skating, I am now dancing. And I'm getting to know myself in a different way. Like, oh, wait, this is how you move your body. Oh, okay. These are the songs that you enjoy to like move in this way and that way. And even while you're skating, now there's so much freedom and you're fluid and you're, like there's just so much flow in how I'm moving and dancing. And I'm like, oh, wait, I didn't know that I did this. But also there's so much I don't know that like I'm embracing this part. Like, okay, so this is how you like to move your body. How beautiful, Another thing that I recently did is I was at Trader Joe's and I'm walking by the apples, and I always buy apples and I'll just get a bag of apples, whatever. And then most of the time I'm looking at the price like, okay, I'll get this bag of apples. I did not know the type of apples that I truly enjoyed. I decided that I was going to get 3 different single apples so I can know the type of apples that I truly enjoy. So I got a Honeycrisp, a Fuji, and a Gala apple. And each day I would try a different apple so that I can discover which one did I truly like. And come to find out, I really like Fuji apples and Honeycrisp. And I also like Pink Ladies, but I already knew that one. And I don't like Gala apples. Now, I have bought Gala apples for years and years amongst all these other apples. And that's probably why they didn't always get eaten or things like that. So now I'm like, oh, these are the type of apples that you like. And so I'm using this process, not just for apples, but like for everything. And I don't want to go through a list of things, but I'm using this process for everything to really get to know myself. And that may be something so simple, but ask yourself, what type of apples do you like? How do you know you like that type of apple? What type of music do you like? You know, because sometimes we can be in such a routine of doing things because we've always done them, and we don't check to see, why do I really like that? Why do I enjoy it? Or you don't even realize you've been doing something for so long and you don't even like it. Another thing is, I learned this a couple of years ago when I went to Tulum with my great friends. I always thought 2 drinks was my max, right? Like, once I have my 2 drinks, that is it. I am done. No more drinks. Fast forward to Tulum, and I'm like, I'm drinking. And I'm like, why am I able to drink so much and not be like passed out or something? And you know why? Because I have been exposed to top shelf alcohol. And top shelf is a totally different experience than drinking whatever they serve you, whatever. And so now when I go out, I'm like, oh, I need to know, what kind of alcohol am I having? Is it top shelf? Is it this? Is it that? Because now I know what I actually like. But before, I had no idea. I also know that I like tequila. I like tequila and I like vodka. I don't really like brown alcohol. I think I may have to try 1 or 2 more things. But to my knowledge right now, I really like tequila and I like vodka. And I preferably like a margarita or like some type of cocktail with those in it. So I learned that about myself. So as you can see, everything is new, is fresh, is exciting as I'm getting to know myself. And now that I am a divorced woman, a mom of 2 teenagers, living in my own apartment for the first time, restarting my company and dating, there is so much to get to know about myself, right? And so this is a beautiful place to be in, especially in my 40s. I feel like I'm getting a do-over, a fresh start. I'm so young. Like, I look very young. Like, everybody always think I'm in my 20s, like mid-20s, early 30s max. No one can ever believe that I'm in my 40s. And so that's one thing. But also, I feel very young on the inside. And I'm like, I have so much life to live. Like, there's so much to get to know about myself, and like, what a beautiful space of learning and exploring and just being curious about me for the first time. Like, that's exciting. So I'll share some of the things that are helping me on my journey as I get to know myself. And my hope is that it will be inspiration for you as you think about, okay, do I really know myself? How do I get to know myself? What does that look like? Therapy is truly helping me. When I chose my current therapist, I knew that this process, as it relates to going through a divorce, I knew that I needed someone specific to support with that. And as I've been working through preparing for and getting to that place in my life, I also realized that there's so much that's connected to that I have to get to know me. And so my therapist definitely has been helping me do that. What's also helping me is just sitting with myself, like listening to my thoughts, being connected with myself, and really hearing and listening what's going on in the inside. Talking to my friends has been really, really helpful for me. And just really being honest about what I'm experiencing. And just, I'm so grateful really that I have become more and more of my authentic self, and I'm surrounded by people who love me just for being me. So that's truly helpful. Another thing that's helping me is not holding on to the past, acknowledging the past, what has happened, how it served me, how it didn't serve me, but not holding on to it so that I can continue to move forward. Another thing is accepting that I have changed and everything in my life is so new, it's unfamiliar, there's a lot of uncertainty, but knowing that, of course, it's like this because I'm different. Like the things that defined me before was motherhood and being a wife and an entrepreneur, a homeowner, etc. And now those things don't define me anymore. So of course I'm in an unfamiliar space and accepting that, grieving whatever comes up and letting myself know that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling around this because everything is new. And then I think the other thing is shifting my perspective of, man, there's so much work to do. Oh man, here's another thing. No, getting to know myself can be fun. Like I now know that I really enjoy Fuji and Honeycrisp apples. That's fun, right? And the more that I get to know myself, the more that I get to explore, I can have an open mind to it and not feel like, oh man, there's more work to do. So I now know that I'm a grown-ass woman and I never felt like that before. There always was like this childlikeness to me, but now I feel grown, like I'm doing grown shit. Oh man. And like even the experiences that I'm having, I'm like, oh, you a grown woman for real. And so embracing that as I move into this next phase of my life, man, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. And so I share that with you and hope that whatever you're at in your life, that you take time to get to know yourself. Outside of any role that you have, who are you? And being open to figure that out. Don't be hard on yourself. Love yourself through it. And yeah, let's focus on redefining freedom and what that looks like and being open to all that comes up around that. My hope is that this episode was inspirational to you. If so, and you want to support and say, you know what, Siobhan, thank you so much for this today. I needed it. Let me treat you to a cup of coffee or 2 or 3. That link is in the show notes. Every single week, someone treats me to coffee, and I'm always so grateful for it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, share this episode with a friend or two and say, hey, let's take a listen to this and actually have a discussion about it, like really get to know your friends, get to know yourself and say, hey, let's talk about this. And what are your thoughts? I think that would be really, really great. Don't forget to leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you're subscribed, all the good jazz. And then also make sure you're subscribed to my newsletter list. That link is in the show notes. It will always be there for you. Definitely sign up to my newsletter because that is where I also get to express myself in the most beautiful way. As always, I'm so thankful that you took time to listen today. Share this episode on your social media, wherever you hang out. And until next time, sending you so much love and light.